Growing old is not just about time passing. Each of us has a life story, a backpack shaped by where we live and how we live. These are the stories of 4 Bangladeshi Probins told through the homes that held them in East London. Mrs. Begum was just 8 years old when she came from Sylhet in the 1970s. She grew up in overcrowded housing, endured racism at school, yet persevered to become a teacher. Marriage brought her to her in-laws' overcrowded household. The stress of raising her first child in cramped conditions took a toll on her relationships. In 1988, she declared homelessness. Mrs. Begum was offered a council flat infested with vermin, which made her child unwell. Eventually, she took a risk, moving her family to Wapping despite fears about safety. She transformed their small terraced house into a home. Extra rooms, a prayer space, and a garden for native vegetables. Today, it is her pride and joy. But her husband's early retirement due to health problems brings new challenges, financial strain, and need for housing adaptations. She juggles part-time employment and caregiving responsibilities while quietly battling her arthritis. She wants to grow old in her own home, with one of her sons by her side. Sheltered accommodation, she insists, is an incredibly sad reality, and definitely not for her. Aftab arrived in 1976 at age 14. He went straight into factory work, no school, just survival. Marriage and a growing family meant years of overcrowding in a 2-bed council flat. He asked for bigger housing repeatedly, but nothing changed. His mother slept in the living room. His children had no space of their own. His health declined. Still, he kept going. When the factories closed, he moved to restaurant work. The low wages meant right-to-buy schemes were out of reach. 15 years later, after his mother's health collapsed, they finally received a 4-bedroom housing association flat on the ground floor. At 63, Aftab can no longer work. Health problems and mobility issues have taken a toll. His son helps cover the bills, his daughter-in-law takes care of him, and his grandchildren bring joy. He is happy where he lives now, but one problem remains: the house is never warm enough. Sheltered housing? He does not know what that is. Does not need it anyway. His son, daughter-in-law, and grandchildren will not let him go. In 1989, Banu Bibi arrived with 2 children to join her husband and then declared homelessness. They spent 6 years in temporary housing before settling in a 2-bed housing association flat. As the only Muslim family in the neighborhood, she felt isolated, but she built community through Islamic classes and home-based tailoring. The cramped conditions forced difficult compromises: father sleeping in the living room, daughter sharing her mother's bed, and finally the wife and husband moving into the living room to give children privacy. They never could move into a more suitable accommodation despite countless bids. Her son moved out after marriage, painful but necessary. There just was not enough space for everyone to stay together. Later, her husband passed away, then came a stroke. Now in a wheelchair, her own flat became impossible to live in, and her children's homes were just as cramped, with no space for her to move in. She moved into sheltered accommodation, reluctantly at first, but now she has accepted this as Allah's will. Modern, accessible, with a prayer room and garden. Her children visit every day. It's not what she dreamed of, but it's safe, within the community, and she's still close to them. In 2015, Alol brought his family to London from Italy, seeking better schools, community, and healthcare. But they've been living in temporary accommodation in the private rented sector for 9 years, facing evictions, rent hikes, damp walls, and long commutes. His asthma and heart problems have gradually deteriorated. He has stopped working. Their current accommodation is a 2-bedroom flat on the 2nd floor with no lift. overcrowded, no privacy, no space, no balcony. Just a constant sense of suffocation and feeling stuck. His daughter, the only earner, keeps bidding online for social housing, but nothing suitable ever comes up. He feels guilty, he despairs that he has failed his family. Still, he waits and hopes for a place called home. 4 different stories with 3 common threads: home and housing, community, and growing older. Home and housing shape our well-being, our futures, and that of our children. Community gives us strength, but challenges remain. East London is more than a location. It's memory, family, community, and belonging.